guys. Good evening, Obodo fam. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. How is everybody doing? Good afternoon. Welcome. Please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I'm here now. Yeah, I was head back for a little while, but I'm here now. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Thanks for waiting. I hope you're well. Today is Wednesday, the 14th of June, 2023. I hope you are all doing well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for joining another show. I did say we're going to have a very deep conversation about this show tonight. And yeah, there's a lot to unpick on this one tonight. So yesterday we're just here, having a good time, having a kumbaya, appreciating the goodness of God in other people's lives, rejoicing with other people. And today we're back to the matter, the real matter. Hey, Stella. Okay, I've heard. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Please give us a thumbs up. People are not liking. We've not even started the show yet. Just take a minute to like first before I get in, so that you will not forget. Oh my yeah, man. Thank you so much. Super chat so early on. She says it's for Starbucks. Thank you. I'm going to really get Starbucks because you know what? I love my coffee. Thank you so much for that. Oh my yeah, man. Beautiful girl. Love you. Did you see the quick detective and investigative work that I did? When I tell you people that I'm the real investigative journalist in quotes, you people don't believe me. Amayama, did you see the quick investigation I just did just now? If you didn't get the memo, you need to go and check our page. Check our WhatsApp, you will see what I did just now. Kai. Sometimes even myself, I shocktalize myself the way where they operate. I'm very fast. So we are here to talk about marriage and relationship again. Unfortunately, another unlifing of a human being. Beautiful girl. Going to share this story with you guys. Now wow, this matters. No go end though. Actually, now two. Okay, the other one they are alive. The other one that happened in what's it called? The one that happened in Edo State. Now let that one. They say that one they cut in hand. They say the husband say remove in hand because quick serve food to her. I know if you share the video because YouTube will not. It's not the kind of video they will permit, so I can't share it sadly with you guys. But the video has been floating around on WhatsApp for those states. They say the man talk say the woman not quick serve and food. Now he remove one of his hand. Things are happening, oh my people. Kolon Bawa. I say it all the time. I say, you know what? Women are children all over the world. I believe that the reason why, these societies, Western societies, the reason why they are so progressive is the fact that, they protect their women and their children. Yes, they do. Women are not protected in Africa. Children are not protected. Sometimes I think it's because of that. That's why there's not much progress in that part of the world in terms of development. Any society that does not protect the most vulnerable amongst them, I don't know. They don't usually succeed. I read it somewhere that they never make progress. I'm trusting God that one day, one of these our parliamentarians or politicians will wake up to their responsibility, especially the female ones. If the men are busy passing bills and laws and things that favor whatever they are doing, I'm trusting God that one day one day a female parliamentarian will sponsor a bill that, I don't know if there's anyone already or if they are just not being affected. Joyce Reality, how are you, darling? How are you? I hope you are okay. But my dear, I know this is going to be difficult for you. A lot of people actually know this lady. So, yeah, let's try and apply some sensitivity to this matter. Why we pick out the issue, right? So, like I was saying, I'm trusting God that one day we'll have parliamentarians that will enact laws and ensure that those laws are being, they are not just laws that is written on paper, but they are laws that, work to protect women, the most vulnerable in society, women and children. So what happened on this occasion? What happened? This beautiful girl that you are seeing here, yeah, her name is Chiamaka Okafor. She's from Enugu State. Yeah, they say she's a businesswoman. She's fondly called Chimsy. I think I had a look at her page. Somebody shared her business page with me. She does skincare products, all this skin lightening or skin bleaching, whatever you want to call it. That's what she sells, right? They said that she had a BBL surgery not too long ago. So there's been a couple of stories flying around the internet about this couple. Somebody said that according to how the news was reported, she had BBL surgery and she's been suffering from DV, married to a Mongo Park called Undubusi. Undubusi, that's the name of this man with his biceps. PK said if you are praying for tall, dark, and handsome, make sure he's not the one that will be giving you long range. The one that will be giving you long range, that will give you Range Rover and be giving you long range slaps. Pretty girl, very beautiful girl. So she's been suffering, according to the sources that posted it, she's been suffering from DV, but apparently she's this kind of a woman that is always posting about how happy she is in her marriage. Very, very happy. She's very, very happy. She's always posting her husband, her children. So she's been suffering from DV, hid it. I don't know. She told anybody, but I'm sure some people will know. But anyway, they said she did BBL, and I also saw a comment. I will read it to you in a minute. Why she did BBL, because I was like, you're already in your husband's house. Nah, people where they do queen, I bet they call them. People where they do social media queen, when they look for markets. Now I know say that they like to do BBL. I don't know say people where they do husband house, they do BBL too. So when I saw that comment, it made sense to me that somebody's put a comment. When you post these things, people will know them. Yeah, they will start putting comment. They talk, say, now because of how the man, they always make comments about her body. Okay, I think I screenshotted it. Okay, I think this is the comment. Let me see if it's this one. Someone called Austin Augustine said the wife didn't tell her husband about undergoing surgery. The man traveled abroad. She went to do it. On the hospital bed, she heard about her husband's return. She planned to leave the hospital. They warned her that she is not fit to leave. She later did. She got home and started having issues. They rushed her to emergency. But before then, her husband he's been dealing with her. Mongo Park behavior, DV. This is part I'm getting to. That he was body shaming her for not having Bakassi. Like I said, I questioned why she was doing BBL. I know she's a young girl. She's got children. I think she has two daughters. I'm not sure if they are twins, but they look like twins. Somebody here knows her. So maybe they will tell us more. Right? They said the husband was body shaming her for not having Ikebe. And he often puts his hands on her for not having a male child. So she tried to please Mongo Park by going to do BBL, and Ikulobade o. Ikulobade. Because usually when these things happen, it's not a one-off. It's not usually a one-off. It's never a one-off, my people. Mm-mm. It's been going on. Somebody is not saying something. Somebody is hiding something. Okay? It's not usually the day that the person buy that this thing starts. There is usually a history there. Whether she told anybody or not is another thing. Whether her parents are aware of it or not is another matter. Okay? So they say she no get yash. Make I just use the word when Nigerians they call her generally na yash, right? Say the man is always telling her that she no get yash. See as this girl fine. I saw her page today, and yeah, say because he say he no get yash, now he won't go do yash to please his husband so that he go get yash. Otilo, that's her. That's her. Undubusi don't send Chiamaka to the great beyond though. That's Chiamaka. Beautiful bride. So I saw a video of their wedding. Yeah. Somebody sent it to me. Let me see. Yeah. Let me find it. I saw a video of their wedding. I think they got married not too long ago. It's not long ago they got married. 20, I'm not sure. 2018, 2019, I don't know. Let me check. Uh where is it? Anyway, I'll play you the video as soon as I see it. But they did get married not too long ago. That is Chiamaka, my people. I've seen the video. This is it. I've seen the video. Chats. Okay, two chats. Let me share my screen again so that you can see two chats. Yeah, this is the wedding. Okay, this is their wedding when they were getting married. And this is Ndubusi and Chiamaka. They look like the perfectly happy couple, right? Mm-hmm. Make it a hear. Listen.
And I believe this is my experience with you. I can't imagine the rest of my life without you. Today, I give myself fully and confident to you, Trinitas Chamaka, and I vow to be the best husband in the world to you and to love and cherish you for the rest of our life.
More laughter, more joy in your home, and you continue to slay for your husband. I love you, honey, and happy married life.
He said, I promise to love and honor you. I mean, I don't see anywhere in the vows where anything about Basbos was mentioned, anything about putting your hands on her was mentioned. So those promises were they just words? Can you see? Beautiful couple. They appear to be so pretty, so nice, nice wedding. But he's actually a monster. He is. He's a monster. Yeah. It takes a monster to do something like this.
Meeting you wasn't an accident. They
Shine,
said
Bob.
marriage is made in heaven, and I believe this is my experience with you. I can't imagine the rest of my life without you. Today, I give myself fully and confident to you, Trinitas Chamaka.
So, yeah, there are a couple of issues here. I'm going to be showing you the images as we go on. I'll show you her page and show you a few visuals of, this marriage. Yeah. But before I get to her page, the first thing we want to talk about is about, male child, this male child thing. Because that's one of the things that, the story broke and they said, oh, it's because she didn't have a male child. Okay? She has two beautiful daughters, right? Yeah. She has two beautiful daughters. So we're going to be looking at the issue of male children, especially, particularly the way this is seen in Igbo land. Does it mean that if somebody doesn't have a male child, in this day and age. I understand what male children mean, right? I do. Honestly, I do. I understand what it means. Having a male child to the average African man is not only in Igbo land, but I think it's more like it's an expectation in Igbo land. I know women who will have 10 children, 11 children all across Nigeria because they are trying to have a male child so that their husbands will not marry someone else, right? But the question is, are we to say that today, in this day and age, that men or some men don't understand that women have nothing to do with gender? To determine the gender of a child, that women have nothing to do with that. I mean, this is simple biology, right? And the way he was writing his poem to her and hailing her, I give myself to you, I'm assuming that he's educated to a level at least. It's not, it doesn't sound to me like somebody that is completely, ignorant or uneducated. So if you know, as a man who is educated, that the gender of a child has got nothing to do with your wife, why do you hold her responsible? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand because this is one of the issues. Gender of the child. That is two daughters they have. They are young people. Even if they want to have children again, I'm sure they can still try. If it's something that is so important to them that, they must have male children, which is all right. But why hold a woman responsible for a gender that she's got nothing to do? She's got nothing to do with it. Oga, you are the one that determines. It is you that carry the seed. Let me put it in a way that they say it in Christianity. You are the one that carries the seed. So what's it concern woman for that one? I don't understand, but we need to look at that because this is a very serious issue. As I'm talking to you now, there are women out there in Nigeria, and you will even be surprised some in the abroad, who are breaking their back, trying to carry very, very pregnancy that is putting them at risk, that they are not safe to carry because they want to have a male child. They want to have a male child. And the worst part is that in some cases, you will now see that, maybe the man will now go outside. And that's why we have a lot of all these issues with paternity fraud. Somebody will now get pregnant for somebody else. They will say he's the father of the child. Next thing you know, they will say, it's the woman's fault. You are the one you couldn't give me a male child. Why is that an issue? Why are women still being held responsible for not, in quote, giving a male child in this day and age? Egjo, we need to unpick that. Very, very important that we unpick that. Okay? Because I'm sure sometimes we I don't even know. How do I explain it? It seems like people will know the right thing. They will know, but they choose not to. They want to bury their head in the sand. Yeah, are we to say that we don't know that a woman will produce whatever you gave her? Hmm? Chat moment is saying that she even she had a baby, she was pregnant, and they didn't want the baby because they found out it was a girl. Ha! Okay. So she agreed to that because it's not a boy. So they don't want that child. They got rid of it. Ah. So another part of the story that I wanted us to talk about is the fact that people said that they saw her on social media, and this Chamaka always presented like somebody who was happily married. Why is it that we like keeping up appearances, even when fire they burn you, they do fake love? Why? To pepper people, to impress people. She's a young girl. Why? So these are all the issues that we're going to be looking at tonight. I'm going to show you her profile in a minute, but I wanted to look at this some of these comments Tonya is here to help me interpret. I brought Tonya. Tonya is our Igbo spokesman today, a spokeswoman. Tonya, you are not home. Can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
Yes, Auntie B. Hello, I can hear you.
Hello, darling. Welcome. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good, good, good. So you said that it was, who did you say said this quote that I'm showing you? So who said it? That somebody was the one that said it about male child, female child, something like that. You were mentioning it earlier.
Maybe that's another Tonya that mentioned it. I haven't typed anything.
No, no, no. You haven't typed anything. Was is it not? No, it's not your Tonya. Ah, okay, it's a different Tonya. Sorry, sorry. So somebody said Igbo people are male children. Aga amuta nwoke. Aga amuta nwoke. Muta nwoke. I can't say it. Let me not say it in a way that,
Let me say it, Auntie B.
Okay, go ahead.
Igbo people are male child. Aga
Mm-hmm.
muta nwoke, aga muta nwoke. That means
Uh-huh.
born boy yo, you go born boy yo.
Uh-huh.
Muta nwoke je megene, give birth to a
Mm-hmm.
son. For what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Muta nwoke in which family? What is so special about nwoke? Now
Mm-hmm.
speed Darlington talk am, and I
Speed
second
Darlington.
it.
That's
Speed
the
Darlington.
person I was looking for. Speed Darlington is the one
Speed
that said
Darlington.
this. Yes, people are quoting what Speed Darlington said. Repeat it again. Aga nwoke.
A
Aga
ga-amụta
muta.
nwoke, a ga-amụta nwoke. They go
What does
born
that
boy
mean?
you, they must born
Mm-hmm.
boy you, boy child, they
Okay.
must born boy child. Oh.
Okay.
That's what it
Right.
means.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I'll
he now went.
continue.
Yeah.
Okay. Now speed Darlington talk and I second it. Nwa
Mm-hmm.
bụ nwa, meaning a child is a child. A
Mm-hmm.
child is precious that way. A child is a child.
Mm-hmm.
Amechina, Amechina. Now why some born she male in quotes, meaning boy girl.
Mm-hmm.
Amechina already means who knows tomorrow? Who knows
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow? So they always quote that for you, like you don't know tomorrow, no one
Mm-hmm.
knows tomorrow. If you don't have a boy, the legacy
Mm-hmm.
has died, or all those things that Igbo people will quote, as if
Mm-hmm.
the girl child was nothing.
Right.
So it says Amechina, that means who knows tomorrow. Now why some born she male? We go
Yeah.
turn woman at last. Udo
Use
de
delete.
no.
Use delete because of the platform, please.
Yeah, yeah, we'll
Mm-hmm.
delete, okay. So Udo
Mm-hmm.
de no means peace be unto you. That's the post from
Right.
Gist Connect. Thank you.
Right. Right. Thank you very much for interpreting that to us.
No
Yes, you
worries.
must born male child. You must born male child. So, okay, you're an able woman yourself. So now let's have this conversation. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I know you don't believe, you're not in that school of thought, whether somebody has male child or female child. At the end of the day, some people are just begging God for one to even have a child is the prayer point of some people.
Yeah.
So in this day and age, are we to say that a young man like that does not understand that, Chiamaka had nothing to do with the gender of the child or of the children they are having?
Well, it will shock you to know that even if this man was a PhD biology lecturer, meaning he should know how the genes work, knowing that it's
Hmm.
the chromosomes he put into the woman that she'll produce. That
Yeah,
means the woman has nothing to do with it. So I'm just saying that even if the man was a professor of biology, those who are in
right.
this school of thought, who use the omenala, in quotes, the Igbo omenala, to cover up this barbaric culture,
What's
they will still
omenala?
not
What's the
agree
meaning
with
of
you.
what's
Omenala
omenala?
is where yeah, I'm a titled man, I'm a cultured man. Omenala
Yeah.
is not so we they do, it's our culture. And they
Oh,
forget
gender
that
is a
people put
culture.
Omenala is like culture, how we do it.
Culture.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
So even a
Mm-hmm.
biology professor would still argue this with you, unless he
Mm-hmm.
has worked on himself intentionally, like Allah would always say. He has consistently worked on himself. Unfortunately, that's what it is.
Right. So if there is no male child, okay, we are talking about lineage now, may
Yeah.
something. Yeah. And you know, you are not the, he's not the only, I don't know if he's the only man that the father has, but usually when you come from a family where there are other male children, then whether you have a male child or not, the family name will still continue with, with the other male children there in the family. And even these days, some women don't even change their names. They don't. Or they hyphenate it. Like, I always, anytime we're talking about all this culture in Igbo land, my go-to person is Chimamanda, because she's the most famous amongst all the ones that I know, right?
Yeah.
She's very enlightened. She's a feminist, well-known feminist
Yeah.
figure worldwide.
And a good
And
one, that a very
yeah,
good
yeah.
one. She is
And
a
but
good
she's
one.
also happily, she's married as well. So, and she didn't change her name. You know that. She
Yes,
still
I know
answers her
that.
father's name. He did change
Yes.
her father's name. She didn't
Yeah.
take her husband's name. So, I mean, what is there anything that people are doing in terms of enlightening this Omenala people condition and tradition to for them to understand? Because it's a young man. Look at him. Undubusi is a young man. This guy should be in his 30s.
But
One,
Sister B, women are enabling this bomb boy, bomb boy. In most families, you'll be surprised to know that if you have four girls, it's your fellow women that'll be like, your leg never strong. Oh.
na
Like,
so.
don't even balance yet. Oh. You shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
sit well yet until you born that boy. So the pressure
Yes.
comes mostly from women. And
Mm-hmm.
we all know that this is unacceptable. It is wrong. I don't think there's anything strongly that is being done to change this culture, unfortunately. The
Mm-hmm.
only person that I know that has been vocal about it is Chimamanda Adichie. And she tells the men, she tells the Igbo people that culture was made by people and
Mm-hmm.
culture can be changed by people,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't want to listen to her. But you
Yeah.
can see in her own little way, she's making changes. At least
Yeah.
she's been
But
given a chieftaincy title.
that's
That's a
what I was
step.
going to talk about.
She's
That's
put
what I was
herself
going to
in a
talk about.
position where okay, when the chiefs are sitting, are talking, are putting all the laws that favors only them themselves. At least I think I quite like the position she has put herself in, because for you to bring change, you have to be part of change.
So
So
I was
she's
going
the
to
only
talk
one I
about,
know that is, but
yeah.
she might not see this happen. It might be in the next generation, 2, 3 generations to come.
Yeah.
The Igbos I know around me, people are not ready to have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
people are not
So
ready
I
to
was
have this
gonna.
conversation.
It's a good thing you mentioned about that chieftaincy title, because I'm a huge fan of Chimamanda. I read her books, I buy her books, I follow her, listen to her lecture, because I think she's just a breath of fresh air. She's
She
made
is.
us very proud as Nigerians, as African women, as Nigerian women. We are so proud of the work she's doing all over the world, especially in Nigeria, regarding breaking these stereotypes. Okay? And she talks about feminism in a way that we don't want to get into her work. I'm a huge fan. But I wanted to talk about that chieftaincy title, because I was going to do a show about it when I saw it.
Yeah.
Now we know that in Igbo land, this is not something that you see very
It
commonly
is
like that for a
arrow. They tell you it's
woman.
arrow. Obo arrow. In
Ehen.
ime
But
nwaanyị bụ a chief. Oh arrow
yeah,
means abomination for the woman to be
okay.
a chief.
Okay, but her people decided that, you know what, we are going to reward her with a chieftaincy title, despite the tradition that women cannot be chiefs, because they
Yeah.
recognize her value. So, what does that tell you?
Well, that
Tradition
tells
can
me that
change.
if you want change, you have to be part of the change. She
No, no.
understands that she can talk from now to tomorrow. These people are not ready to listen. So she's putting herself strategically in that position to be able to begin to effect these things and make men understand that a girl child is as equal human being as a male child.
And the first thing about, the fact that they gave her a chieftaincy title alone tells me that this same tradition that
Can
all
be
these
changed,
people
can
hold
be
on
worked
to,
on.
they can be changed.
People made that culture. That's what she's saying, and I agree with that. People made that culture, and people can also change that.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
she was burying, when she was doing the funeral for her late parents, Chimamanda did not just stay behind and just accept everything they said. When they're having a meeting, they said the women should not be there. She insisted she wants to be in that meeting. She
Mm-hmm.
took
What?
offense that why can't she be part of the meeting? She's contributing as a child in that family. Like siblings are contributing money towards the funeral of their parents and all. Like,
Yeah.
why is it that only her brothers will be there
Right.
and she can't be there? She can't even figure her head around that. I'm just, and I totally agree with her. I'm like that too, but it
Why do
is
you
what
think
it
they
is.
listen to her? Why do you think they listen to her? Unlike any other woman who doesn't come with, what she's carrying in terms of her popularity, her public figure, the work that she's done, the respect, and the position she occupies in society.
I think
Why
they
do you think
listen
they
to her
listened?
because they know what she's saying. She's telling the truth. She's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they listen to her. They know she is right, and they
Mm-hmm.
are not ready to fight it all the way. But did they
Be-
accept it totally? I don't know. I
But
doubt.
do you also think that if it was just an average person who didn't have the position or doesn't have the popularity and the honor that she brings to her people, do you think they will even have a they will even listen to her? Do you think so?
No, not at all. They won't.
Right.
They
Okay.
won't.
That's where I'm getting to. That's where I wanted to get
They
to.
won't. And I
Yeah.
think they're also scared that she may write a piece about them. Chimamanda is a good writer.
They are
And when,
worried.
when the Reverend Father, the priest that was supposed to carry out the funeral and all the drama surrounding it, when he started charging them exorbitant amount before he could perform the rite and sent a catechist and all that, Chimamanda wrote a very good piece about it and asked people all over the world, Nigerians who has gone through that, to give their own opinion about it. And we all realized that this is something that has been happening. So I think they were scared she was going to write about it. And they were like, just give her what she wants, but she's not going to change us. That's where it was coming from.
Right.
They were
Okay.
scared. So it shows that they are human. They know
So
she
there
was
are
right.
So there's the category of people that can actually infect these changes. You just need to have enough clout to persuade these umunnas to listen.
Somebody right now will be listening to us and watching this and be like, this can never happen in my own place in Igbo land. This can never happen. Well, this can happen. Change is
But it
coming.
did it did
You are the only one
happen.
that have refused to change. Change is inevitable.
It did happen with Chimamanda. If it can happen with Chimamanda, it can happen to on other women. That's to tell you that there is nothing. I mean, the reason why I'm even pushing this angle about this
Auntie B,
conversation.
I'm raising my hand up. I need a chieftaincy title. I would take one if it's offered to me as an Igbo girl from Anambra State. I would take it.
What
And I'm
state
going to
is
say,
Chimamanda from? Is she from
Chimamanda
Enugu
is
or
from
Anambra?
Anambra State.
Anambra State. Okay, and it's apparently I hear that there is a part of Anambra. Somebody was giving us some story about a particular place in Anambra that the tradition is quite strong, and they believe that women are
Everywhere,
meant to be
everywhere in Anambra is
in,
quite strong. Really.
that they believe that women are meant to be seen, not heard. Yeah, no, there's a
I think
particular
it's almost
tribe there.
everywhere.
Yeah, I think Film Girl, I don't know if Film Girl is listening. She was trying to educate us about it. Yeah, I can't remember the name, but she did mention it. Okay. Thank you very much about for that. I mean, going forward, I
You're
want to talk
welcome.
about, yeah, thank you, Tonya, for giving us that a good, very brief cultural background
Thanks.
about this matter. Thank you. I appreciate you, my darling. Yeah, definitely. If they give you a chieftaincy, call us. We'll celebrate with you. Tradition was made by man. Man didn't make tradition was made by man, not the other way around. And if it was made by man, it can be changed by man. So this tradition of male child is something that I don't know. If I talk about people who have female children and they are perfectly happy in their lives, they will say, "Oh, they are not this, they are not that." So I don't know. I still believe that there are some Igbo men that have female children and they are quite happy with that, and they're not going to go to the extent of deleting their wives because she didn't give them a male child because they know better. Okay? So, Joy's Reality, you are here, my darling. Thank you very much for joining us. I know this is quite personal, for you. Um, Unmute yourself, Joy. And so, another angle that we're going to look at, we talked about the male child and culturally what this means in Igbo land and why this Mongo Park decided that, okay, let me send this woman to an early grave because she didn't give me this young girl. I mean, it's beyond me. John's Reality, can you hear me?
Yes, Auntie B.
Thank you very much for joining us, darling. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just.
Bele. Bele. So do you know her directly or you know someone that knows her?
I know her. I
Chiamaka.
know her personally.
You know Chiamaka personally.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know her. Yeah.
I know when we're having conversations about this earlier and you were saying that people like you had no idea that she was going through DV.
Yes. And I have a stand on issues like that, so I'm not really surprised that she didn't share
Right.
because yes, it's not like the first time it's happening. I am one of my friends also too. It took her like 3 years to open up, and even her family too didn't know at that time. Like 3 years,
Yeah.
well, of what she was going through, and the day she opened up to me, that was the day I told her, "You have to tell your parents. This can't continue."
Why do you
So
think they
we,
hide it? Why do you think these women hide these things? These are the daughters. You
I
can see the daughters. Are they twins?
no, the darker one, the one on the bike is older.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So she's got two lovely daughters, but it wasn't good enough for Ndubusi. He wanted a male child.
Yeah,
But why do you think these women keep these things private? Why can't they tell even their own families? In your
Because they're still believing that. First of all, I think personally, with from the experience, I believe that sometimes they are feeling like there's still, because lately a lot of people trivialize, oh, it's just something small. Women cannot endure. So they believe they can still try, push more, or maybe there will be a change. They don't want to bring all this, don't keep your family marriage secret, don't bring your husband outside, don't bring your marriage outside. If people hear stuff about them, they will lose respect, or they will see them in a different light. So they believe that maybe there's something that can happen and the person will change, or they could still do something, because once their family know or their friends know, they might not look at the person the way they used to look at them anyway. Because these things are like everywhere. People give those advice all the time, and I always say it's not true. I don't believe in that. Your family, your parents are not that immature to know that no marriage is a bed of roses, or for if you open up and say, okay, this is what I'm going through, or certain things, they should be able to come in and speak about that. I'm married too, and one time there was a particular issue I experienced that I was having in my own marriage, and I tried to fix it on my own. It wasn't working, but the day I told my parents about it, everything ended, because my parents are not the people that would just keep quiet and just watch anybody. My dad would personally tell you that I don't have any child anybody will maltreat. I did not give birth to any child for any man to maltreat. So if they hear about it, the way they would talk about it or address it, then it should be okay. Is either you're ready to fix this thing, or I'm taking my child.
right.
You know. So
So I want to talk about that BBL. Like I read at the beginning of the show, somebody put a comment and said that he was body shaming her. That's why she went to do a BBL. Because it's not very common. I mean, in the diaspora, you see women do it, but in Nigeria, you don't often see a lot of married women doing BBL. Did you know anything about her doing BBL?
the BBS story to me is not true. Because I've spoken to a few people that we know each other. It's not really true. It looks like it's just maybe a rumor to cover up something, because her brother was like saying that all the people making up stories and saying things just to cover up, to start making like cover up and make excuses that they are still that had
their death is still like under investigation. They are not ready to make any statement or say anything yet. Um, she's pregnant, and if you even see this picture where she's wearing black that you're scrolling on the screen, the black one, you could
Yeah,
see.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how someone that's pregnant would do a BBL.
Right.
So the
So
BBL
there's
story
no
is not
validation to the
adding
BBS
up.
story.
Yeah, and they're saying the BBL was done in Enugu. I don't know if they do BBL in Enugu. So I've never heard about BBL being done in Enugu. So even the
Mm-hmm.
ones I know they do in Nigeria is mostly Lagos. You hear about them doing
She's
that.
such a
So
pretty girl.
I don't think that story looks like just a little bit of blame here is like the story. One part you read about somebody saying she left the house for 5 days
Yes.
to go and do BBL, and when the husband came back, and it's not true. That's not
Right.
true. So
Right.
and then just on like Blessing CEO, one lady is all up in her comment section saying it's complication for BBL. That's all that happened. Like just defending, going up and down, and people are saying that you have people, a lot of people that know her were coming for her too. In one
Right.
of the
So they are
posts,
trying to spin the story so that they will
yes.
not
So
hold Ndubisi responsible.
yeah. So and the brother is saying that everything is people, those people making up or saying these things that they don't know.
Has he been
Where they say
arrested? Do you know if Ndubuisi has been arrested?
no, no. I've not heard about him being arrested yet. We're just trying to follow up and ask. We spoke not too long ago. We know since you travel or you're far away, we just chat most times. I know it wasn't so long ago. Like I think it was last month. We just had to like catch up sometime, just talk. But she wasn't like I didn't know. I'm not surprised that I don't know because I have a friend, the friend that we saw each other every other weekend or every other day was
Mm-hmm.
going through something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
worse, I didn't even know. But I knew that at some point I could tell she was not happy.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she couldn't say what was it. I could feel that she was something was going on, but she didn't say, and I cannot jump in and say anything until the night she ran to my house in the middle of the night. That was when I knew that okay, whatever it is out of hand, and I'm glad she actually because she also know this lady, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad she walked away, like she filed
So
for a divorce and left.
yeah, so these two beautiful babies have no mother now.
And that's the painful part. That's what I'm saying. Like nobody
Hmm.
does it better than mommy.
How can you have these two amazing human beings that even you don't even know how they came about? It's just by the grace of God, but it's not enough for you because of their gender.
Yeah, the pregnancy, she's actually pregnant, and then they heard that the baby is found out that it's going to be a girl, and that's like the beginning of the issue. Okay,
Ah,
telling her to get rid of it.
ah. Now, because somebody did mention that she was pregnant and and they find out it was going to be a girl. He didn't want a
Yes,
girl anymore. He
we
wanted
didn't
a
want to
male
get,
child.
yeah, maybe they
Ah,
like looks like they had a conversation. They were having like 3 kids, and finding out that this one is a girl, he didn't want
another
it to.
girl. How dare you be
Yes,
pregnant with another girl again when you already have two?
yes,
Hmm. I'm really, really sorry, my dear. I know this is
yeah.
different for you because you know her personally, and I can imagine, the
Oh,
shock, especially because you didn't know that something was
it
going
was
on.
it was the shock of I just received the shock of my life. I woke up in the morning preparing for work. I don't even know. I like let me just okay. I had a few minutes. I was not going early. It's okay. Let me just go through Instagram, and I see it on Instablog. Open it, and I'm like, no. I threw my phone. This was like a lie. We see stories every day. This one just hit home.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a lie. How?
Hmm.
How?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I this opportunity, I still want to like talk to women, ladies. We do this. It happens a lot of time. We are always
Mm-hmm.
trying to paint a perfect picture.
Mm-hmm.
I personally spoke to a friend about this thing last time. I'm like, you're always still you come and talk about all these problems in your marriage and all these issues that with your husband, and then you're still posting and writing all kinds of things. The day anything happen, if you decide to walk away or something happens, everybody will blame you because
Mm-hmm.
you've painted him as a saint. You've painted him as this perfect person, and
Yeah.
like you're the one that have a problem. Why are you doing that? I have to like say, please stop doing it.
Trying to impress. Nigerian women are always
It
trying to
does
impress
it,
one
it's not
another
it doesn't help
with fake happiness that
you.
they don't have. Yeah,
Why do you even have to say or post anything? Why do you even have to do it? Why do you
yeah,
have to?
yeah.
Is it necessary? Why do you have
I
to
think
prove any
I think
point?
it's a way of them, a way to cope. They are trying to use it to cope so that other people will be saying, especially the people that are not married, they'll be saying, at least you are married, you have children. It's a way. And looking at it, I think it's a coping mechanism for them.
That's deceit.
They get
You not
validation from it because people will look at it on social media and they will be happy for them and they will get some kind of satisfaction. It's kind of weird. It's a bit, it's almost diabolical, but I think that's what it is.
For me, I believe the people that are on social media happy everywhere are not the really the happy people. Because to me, when you are happy, you're even going to be so busy with your life, you won't be having time to put on the camera and show how happy you are and how everything. That's how I personally believe. So sometimes you can always see through, or you just know that these people maybe they're just projecting. And I don't know. I'm just personally so sad that she didn't maybe confide in anybody really close or people that can talk to them. Because sometimes too, some of us that they feel we are what they call us that we are what's that word? I'm trying to use the word that they call us women that are assertive women.
Mm,
So people try to advise them that they advise you always, yeah, we're advising when to leave, we advise people to leave, or they don't want to talk to you, or they know because they know the kind of what you will say. Some of
um,
your friends know you so much that they know that this is what you will say when something like this happen. Like it's no brainer. They know that you can tell them this is your stand. You're not a
mhm.
person that you're here or there, so they will not tell you.
I mean, I'm particularly very troubled because, they are saying that he's been putting his hands on her. He's obviously, done it, overdone it, and he's spied her, and he's still walking around free. By now, he should be locked up. The fact that you are not hearing news that he's been arrested is very worrying to me. And Abigail here, Nacho. When I discovered that my third child was a girl, my husband told me not to have the child. Let me just use that word because I can't use the word that she used. Or to take the child to an orphanage when I give birth. I prayed not to have the child. Thank God my prayers were not answered. You prayed not to have the child, Abigail. You prayed.
Because most people don't know better.
You
This whole
prayed not to
thing,
have a child. Yeah.
most times I
Oh,
think
may God forgive you.
family is the bedrock of where you get your values and your self-esteem and
I just pray
everything.
that God will forgive you. And I hope you are able to love that child, Abigail, because with this thing you said now, I don't know. It tells me a little bit about where your mind is because your husband
Mhm.
said you two were praying. Do you know what some people will give to have just one child,
Just
irrespective
one.
of the gender? You
Mhm.
prayed not to have a child that you conceive in your womb. No wonder the Bible says that even if a mother will not have compassion, maybe we still mentioned it here yesterday. That Proverbs. This is an example. You can see now. I prayed not to have the child. Wow. It is
You
well.
know, my
It's
sister
all
has
right.
been like crying since yesterday because they got married the same time, like I mentioned. Like they got married like the same time, and she has been looking for one. She has not had any. So you can imagine how she feels that
Yeah.
somebody has two and is being put through something like that to for her to be on life because of there's no male child. Like who does that?
No, I can't. Uzo, sorry, please. I can't. I can't. I can't do that because I know women who the only thing in their life. I mean, I know people who died because they couldn't even have one. So please, let's leave it. That's not what we are talking about here. Let's face what we're saying. Joy's reality. Thank you very, very much for I pray that God will grant. Is the family the sort of family that will be able to get some redress? Do you know? The
Yes,
woman's
yes,
family. Are they in the
yes. I'm maybe
position
even
to be
a
able
bit
to get?
shocked. Yes, I'm a
In
bit shocked because
Nigeria, you need to have money to be able to get justice. Are they
she's
good?
from
Are
a
they in the
well-to-do
position?
home. She's a
Right.
well from a well-to-do home. She's well schooled. and all that. She's well traveled as a person, so she's from a well-to-do home. So I know that he won't go, he won't go scot-free.
Okay,
But
that's
it's
what we
painful
need to
that he
hear.
won't bring her back.
Mm.
But I
He
don't, he
won't.
won't go
And those
scot-free.
little babies are motherless now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Judge Reality. Thanks for sharing with us. Please accept my condolence. I pray that God will comfort all you friends and family. And please, you guys should continue to talk to, if you know any woman, even though they are forming like, you know, all is well, trying to paint a picture that is not real, you know. They need
Mm.
to understand that the covenant of life is longer and better than the covenant of marriage. This guy, this monster, he's not even a human being. I don't see him as a human being. I see him as a monster who has deprived his two beautiful daughters their mother. These children are going to live with that trauma for the rest of their lives. If he goes to prison, that's if. I'm using if with a big, quote, because we know how it is in Nigeria. Justice is not guaranteed. You know, if he goes to prison, if he gets out, he can marry again. He might not even go to prison. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So, what
Mm-hmm.
are we saying? Yeah, save your life. Just save your life. Save yourself, women. Save your life. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Joy.
you, Toby.
All right. Okay, we're moving on the show. Please give us a thumbs up. Yeah, you know why? There are even people here who are listening to us now. You don't, until you've dealt with somebody who has, you know, prayed, they fasted, they've done repeatedly IVF upon IVF upon IVF unsuccessfully. They spend millions trying to conceive. Then you will not understand. So nobody should come for me and say, "Oh, why I'm not wearing my compassionate hair." When somebody said that I pray to get rid of a child, because you have God has blessed you to have the privilege of even having a girl child, right? You don't know what people have gone through. You need to have one-to-one with somebody who's been on that journey. Then you will understand that even if a man says that, oh, because it's a male child, I don't want the child. You that is the mother, you will not have compassion on your own child because you are trying to please one Mongo pack. Please. Hey, Joe, I can't bring myself to have any kind of understanding for that kind of situation. I'm sorry. I can't. You guys know me on this platform. I have empathy, I have compassion, but you are a mother, and that child is innocent. They didn't ask to be born. You spread your leg to conceive. So what are you talking about? Hey, Joe, if I be no, let me be taking it small this evening because we still have a long way to go. Fran, you are welcome. Good
Hi, Auntie
evening.
B. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can. Where are you joining us from?
I'm in the UK. Good evening, Auntie B.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, Auntie B. Um,
Mhm.
so I just wanted to say because I'm just hearing the last thing that you said about not having compassion for someone who prayed for God to take away a child that was because the child was not a girl.
Mhm.
I know you're a compassionate person, and I know that you're finding it difficult to have compassion for that person. But I
Mhm.
would say for this person, because I heard when you read out what she said, for this
Mhm.
person, do please wear your compassionate heart, because she said she's glad that God didn't answer that prayer.
Let's just focus on Chiamaka and leave that. That's
Okay,
not the focus of our. If the person wants to share, they are free to come. Let's talk about the issues on ground concerning Chiamaka. I want to leave that because I don't want to be sidelined and sidetracked because of that. So it's just something I picked on. I didn't understand it. Obviously, I don't have the full context of her
mm-hmm.
situation. So
Yeah,
apologies, if I don't understand it fully. I don't mean to pick on her, but
yeah,
you know,
no worries.
more
Apologies,
people
Auntie B.
from family members and friends who are still on this journey. So, I know what it means for people to say they just want to have one child.
Yeah,
One.
yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from. Anyway, what do you have to say about this situation?
Okay. So with regards to this situation, when I see things on Insta blog, I'm like, oh yeah, story. I do know that it happens to people. I know that it's people's real stories that are making it to that Insta blog. But as of yesterday and as of the last few days, I haven't been to Instagram or Insta blog. I just thought I was weaning myself off Instagram, not on purpose, only because I've been very busy from work. But I then went on WhatsApp and I saw my friend's status. So it is that this girl is a friend of a friend, my very close friend. I don't know the girl in particular, but my very close friend is her friend. And she
Mm-hmm.
put on her status about the Instagram thing and saying, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. And I told you not to go back. You said you were going to go back because you loved the man. And when the last caller who knows her said she's well traveled and well studied, I know that she, from what my friend said, I don't know her personally, but my friend said she was in the UK before, so I think she may have studied here because my friend was studying as of when I met her, and I was studying in the UK as well. That made me think, oh my gosh, like you see stories, and this is one of the stories that you kind of know who it is happened to, or you kind of know somebody that knows the person, or you know somebody that will be very affected by this. And one
Mm-hmm.
thing I wanted to touch on is my friend saying that I asked you not to go back to him, and you said that he loved you, and so you were
Mm-hmm.
going back. So there's
Mm-hmm.
always, in situations like this, there's always like people who have this, who say to their friends, oh, don't go back, and they go, "Oh, let me go back and go and try again." So they do talk to people, and it's so sad that they don't listen when they are told things like this. You can't blame them at the end of the day, but I wish women would listen more to
Mm-hmm.
other people who say things like this to them, say don't go back, because if she saw the future today, I don't think that she would go back. So that's one thing I wanted to touch on. And another thing that I wanted to touch on very briefly is that it is the man that determines the sex of the baby. Because in a woman, there is only one chromosome in the woman. In the man, there's two chromosomes. So you have to leave, as a man, you have to leave one of your chromosomes, the X or the Y, and that meets with the woman's chromosome to then determine the gender of the baby. So that's another thing. And then another thing that I wanted to touch on, this omenala that people talk about, even the Bible, like a lot of Igbo people are Christians, and even this Jesus Christ that Igbo people follow as Christians said in the Bible that Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. So I don't understand why the Omenala is, people are made for Omenala and Omenala is not made for, like, why can't they take what Jesus Christ said if they're so Christian the way that people claim that they are. And then the final thing that I just wanted to say is this thing about women being the ones to bear the burden of everything. Like, what is the problem? Women, it's not just people need to leave women alone. Women, we also need to let ourselves breathe. I don't want to laugh about this issue, but every time I, just in the last 2 days, every time I say breathe, I remember that their president in Nigeria who said let the poor man breathe, and he had to put his tongue between his teeth to pronounce breathe. But yeah, women, we as women need to let ourselves breathe, because look at, I was speaking to my friend the other day, and not related, but it's just the burden that women put on ourselves. I
Mm-hmm.
was speaking to my friend the other day, and she said that she had this her work colleague that called her aside and said, oh, I'm pregnant. And she's like, oh yeah, you've been telling me about this guy that you're with, is it for him? And she's like, yeah. Also, that's a good thing because you like the guy. And she goes, no, actually, I'm not sure. I've taken a lot of things to, kind of do something to the pregnancy. I'm not sure that I'm happy about it, because my older sister married because she was pregnant. She got
Mm-hmm.
married because she was pregnant, and I don't want to follow in that line.
Mm-hmm.
Her older sister's marriage didn't work, and I'm thinking, but why? Your marriage may work or not, but she's putting that burden on herself as a woman in
Mm-hmm.
saying that I don't want to marry because I'm pregnant. If you marry because you're pregnant, and if the person is in love with you and he says, oh, you're pregnant, let's get married, and like, what is the problem? Sometimes it's we women that put this burden on ourselves. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
come out of a marriage. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do this. I know
But
someone
there's
very,
a reason though. There's a reason.
no, I know
It's
that
not
there's
just I know women do contribute quite a lot, but there's a reason. Did you notice that, Fran, that there's this conversation on social media going on at the moment, and they say, oh, once they come abroad, the marriage will end. But they were happy in Nigeria. They are happy in Nigeria. And then people are saying that no, they married. Somebody actually mentioned it here on this platform. We're having a conversation that no, Men who go around to go on social media and they start saying that, oh, we're happy in Nigeria. Well, no, the marriage was good for you in Nigeria. It wasn't good for her. You know
And
the
this
reason why a lot
restaurant
of
to
women
be
feel
be-
comfortable to leave when they come abroad is
because they
because of
have
the
the means
society.
now. Because
Yeah,
the
they
marriage
have the
was already
means.
broken in Nigeria, and they just needed an
Yeah,
opportunity where
yeah, they
they
are not
have
going to
the
be
means.
judged. Nobody is seeing them
Yeah,
to judge them. They are very far from all the criticisms and all the people that will call them and shame them and blame them for not making their marriages work. They are far away
exactly
from their
that, and to
church.
be
They are far away from
exactly
their own
that.
munna. They are far away from all their friends. That's why this
Like,
is. I know as much as we want to hold ourselves accountable, right?
mm,
The society has a large role to play in why women like this will continue to be deleted. Chiamaka, a beautiful girl like this, deprived, her children deprived of a mother, her parents deprived of a daughter, her dreams, her hopes, aspiration, everything cut short. There's a reason. Society contributes, women contribute, men contribute. Everybody needs to hold themselves accountable. Because we can say, oh, it's only the woman, you just want to go by, you want to go by, you want to go by. No, no. What was it? What was the last time you said when somebody said they were going to leave their marriage? Check yourself. What did you say?
I personally said get out of it, like leave it. I know
No, no, that's
somebody
a
as
rhetoric
well.
question, my darling. It's not
No,
for
no,
you, Fran.
I know, Auntie B. I know it's a
The
rhetoric
average
question.
Nigerian person will say, ha, you have to make your marriage work. Oh, kosin konta. That's what
Do
the
you
Yoruba
know,
people will
Auntie
say. There's
B?
nothing outside.
I know someone who is in a domestic, well, she's with an abusive partner, and her family, I don't want to say how close I am with this person, but her family has said, well, her family is angry with the person, and they've taken her a couple of times away from him, and she's gone back to him because he's come to beg, and she said to her family, I don't understand why everybody is still angry with him. I've
Mhm.
forgiven him. I'm the one involved, and I've forgiven him. It's
Yeah.
not funny, but this is, see, like, this is the thing that I'm talking about. Where when I say sometimes it's women that bring the things upon themselves. Again, I'm not blaming the
Yeah, they do
victims.
contribute. Definitely, they
Yeah,
contribute. Yeah, because marriage is it's not just marriage in Nigeria. Marriage is status. Marriage is position. Marriage is it increases your standing in society. So there's a reason why the women themselves are behaving like MU. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thank you very much, Fran. Let me move on very quickly. Dr. Chika has been waiting. Please unmute yourself. Welcome to the studio.
Hi, Dr. B, Auntie B.
Hello. You want to give me doctorate? I will collect it.
Collect it, collect it. So I'm happy
Oh,
to be back after a long break. I've been
yeah. How
busy,
you
but
doing?
I'm doing great. Ah, I'm so sad to hear this. Like,
Mm, mm,
just looking at her picture, she looks so beautiful. She looks
mm-hmm,
like someone that is exposed. She looks like someone that loves her kids.
mm-hmm,
So, but being an Igbo person myself, I feel very sorry for her.
mm,
The society is the problem.
mm-hmm,
The reason why I say this, although a lot of people, including yourself, have touched on this, but the reason why I say this is that my mom went through this.
mm,
So I have a brother, but I was an only child for a very, very, very long time.
mm-hmm,
And growing up, sometimes my mom would say, you didn't grow so tall because all the tallness was put into smartness. Because just looking around me, I became very sensitive at a very young age.
mm-hmm,
I can hear what people are whispering.
mm-hmm,
I can see how families are behaving. You will hear people say, is it only because of one girl that she's talking? Is it only
hmm.
because of one girl she's raising shoulders?
That's your mom. They are talking. They are referring to your mom,
Yeah, they are referring to my mom.
and it's fellow women that are doing this, right?
Fellow women, even
Mm-hmm,
co-wives, people in the
mm-hmm,
same family that she's married into.
mm-hmm,
So when you hear that as a child or as a girl growing up, it will do two things to you.
mm-hmm,
It will either reduce your self-esteem or it will increase it. depending on the angle you take it from. For me personally, I would say that it increased my self-esteem
Mm-hmm.
because seeing all that around me as a child, I told myself that even if my mom like grows old just having only me, I will make sure that in my life I'm going to make her proud.
Hmm.
That anything that 10 boys would do, I would do it by myself as an only child and as a girl. So from childhood, sometimes people will look at me, they will be wondering like how old I am
Mm-hmm.
because I knew where I was going at a very young age. I knew I would become a doctor. I didn't know whether it would be a medical doctor, but I knew I would have a doctor in front of my name.
Mm-hmm.
All those things came from the way people treated my mom. I wanted to show people around me that a
Why do
girl
you
can
think?
be anything she wants to be.
Yeah. Why do you? Yeah. Why do you think those women who were shading your mom, where she has only just one child and a female child for that matter? Because this is the thing about the competition amongst women. Even on any level, you see women, co-wives, there's always envy and competition within women. I don't know. Sometimes when I read the Bible and they said that God put division between the seeds of the woman and that serpent, I think it's within women that the seed of that thing was the
Hatred was
enmity.
built.
Yes, yes, yes.
I,
Man, I
I
need to go and read it again because I'm telling you, women cannot just stand. A lot of women are so they must have something negative to say. It's always about I'm better than you and did this more than you. Always looking for opportunity to shade one another. Why?
yeah, and to be, I think they are a product of their society. So in Nigeria, women are somehow raised to be seen and not to be heard. Women are raised to believe that they are of lesser beings than the male child. So even when a woman gets married, that kind of cultured way of upbringing teaches the woman that in this marriage, you're of no value unless you have a male child. Like in Igbo land, just like one of the callers stated, even your co-wives will tell you that you don't have a place in this family if you don't have a male child. I've seen it play out as a
Is
young.
there a trophy they give people who have male children that the person
the-
is going to miss out on? They
There
have
is
a trophy they will give you, or they
there's no
have a special
trophy.
chair.
There's no trophy, but people kind of
You don't have a place in a family where you are married, you have children.
married. I think people in Nigeria, just the same way they place some kind of value on marriage, is the same way they place some kind of value on a male child. For example, when I just got married, I married so young. So I went to the bank just like every other person standing there, and my phone rang. I didn't know there was this policy you shouldn't on your phone when you are in the bank hall. A police officer standing there came and snatched my phone from me. I was like, what's going on? He said, you can't answer phone here. You can't answer phone. I was begging the police officer. The next thing I heard is that I'm going to slap you now. And I said, oh God, please don't slap me. I'm begging. He looked at my hand, saw my wedding ring, and he said, God have saved you. If not that you're a married woman, I would have slapped you. So that
Yeah,
kind of tells you how people think, the
yeah.
mindset
It's
of
bragging rights.
Nigerians.
Marriage is bragging rights. Some single women will go and wear wedding band just to get that respect.
So the only thing that, stopped him from slapping me was just the wedding band on my hand. So if I didn't have that, that reduced to my value of a human being, that I will be slapped inside the bank just because my phone rang. So that's the same way people see the male child, especially in Igbo land. It's like having a child gives you kind of advantage over other people that didn't have that male child.
Cherish
So that
Oliver said, hold on, Dr. Chika. Cherish Oliver said, I'm an Igbo girl married to an Igbo man with just female kids. But my dear, I'm happy and I'm fulfilled. Women should get to that. And somebody said, AMD said, Auntie B, there's a trophy. Oh. A family friend had 3 sons and they keep goat for her in her husband's home, as if the gender had anything to do with her. But I mean, we've come to an age where we don't need anybody to keep goat for us. We can buy the cow.
we can buy
So
cow. We
we can
can
buy cow. So who is looking for somebody to keep goat for them? Women can buy cow. How many do you want? We will buy it. That's where we are getting to. What is goat? Goat is too small. Who is still looking for somebody to keep goat for them? How much is goat? You see?
so so my
Oh,
sister, I really pity for this young lady that her life had to be cut short because of something that is nothing. But as we talk about her, we should also remember other people that are still going through this and people that are yet to go through this. Sometimes when I hear people talking about, you's wife, May, why is she still there? Why is she still there? She's still there because she's in Nigeria. Just like you mentioned, some people will say their marriage is working well when they were in Nigeria and immediately they jackpot, the marriage broke. No, the marriage broke in Nigeria. The woman was just there because the society would judge her. So when she traveled abroad, that's the place she can walk away without being judged. So the same way, this lady, had it been like they are not residents in Nigeria, maybe she will have the mind to walk away. But in Nigeria, just like other people have said, it's not easy to walk away from marriage. In Nigeria, people judge you for not having a son. People judge you for not being married. People judge you for everything. So it's like people are living in bondage in that country. And as you as we continue to talk about this, I pray that this opens the heart and mind of people, that they begin to take bold steps, especially women. Many Nigerian women, they are not happy in their marriages. I'm a member of one of the groups in Facebook. I just joined that group just to see what Nigerian women living in Nigeria discuss. And I can tell you that every day that I open that page, it's all about infidelity, it's all about DV, it's all about how unhappy they are. Because it's a closed group, they felt safe talking about it there. So for people that are listening, for people that are kind of pitying this lady for what she has gone through, take her as a lesson and work on yourself. Marriage is an addition. Marriage is not who you are. You are a
yeah.
person before the marriage, and you will continue to be a person even if there is no marriage. So that's just what I want to add.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
happy for what you do, and I believe that every day you speak, you are touching one's soul and you are helping someone take a decision on something that might have been dealing with for a very long time.
Thank you, Dr. Chika. I appreciate you, my darling. God bless you. Thank you for always bringing it 100%.
Take care.
Thank you. Right. Yeah. Somebody said that they keep good for somebody that have male children. And as I saw a comment in the comment section saying that is what when I say we will buy cow, somebody says what goat represent. Okay, if they don't want cow, we'll buy a goat ranch. Yanko, let's go and buy where the goat ranch is. If it's goat that is important to the Umunna, we will buy a goat village for them so that women can give themselves peace of mind over male child. I mean, I know we're just trying to discuss these issues, but you need to know that you've got nothing to do with the gender of a child, women. In case you didn't know that, not be you they determine whether you go born boy or na girl you go born. Now the man get the seed, and na that seed go determine where see you go born. Listen to me, women. Stop running around looking for Nkoti Sonu. It's got nothing to do with you. He should be the one that needs to go and get some, whatever you think he needs to go and do deliverance or go to clinic to go and check his testicles or whatever they need to do to him to help him sort himself out. Nobody has any power as a woman to determine the gender of your child. So, yeah, Tofumi is raising a very, thank you for the super chat, Tofumi. She's raising a very, very, very important point here. When you are dating, especially if you are dating an Igbo man, I will say it, oh, later they will say, it's because you hate Igbo people. I don't hate anybody. But we are saying the statistics is loud and clear. There are some things that are peculiar to a particular, some particular tribes in Nigeria. And this matter of issue of male child is one of them. We can't run away from it. So she said, when dating, ask the man, no, if only female or male children, or no child as well is a big deal. If I don't have children, what are you going to do? If we only have daughters, are you going to take a second wife? Are we going to divorce? Is there a deal breaker? But don't forget that what women are doing today, what women are doing today. I think apart from the what they're saying, name, lineage, and all that, I understand that. But I think our forefathers who were very, very, big on this gender thing, male children. I'm thinking the reason why they really wanted male children, apart from family lineage and all that, is because they wanted people to work in the farm. How many of us are farmers today? That you need people who have strength to cultivate farm for you. It is well, oh. Okay, Jay, hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm to be. Good evening. How are you?
Nice to see you. You're looking very pretty. Thanks for
Oh,
joining us.
thank you so much, Auntie B. Today is my first time calling in, but
All right. I've been
I
seeing you. You just been nodding. I'm seeing you. You're nodding in agreement. You look very pretty. Thanks. Where are you joining us from?
from Dublin, Ireland.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Welcome. Are you
thank you so much.
Nigerian?
Yes, I'm
Oh,
Igbo.
okay. You are
I am.
Igbo.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, I am terrified to call in because I came across your channel since last year, and I have glued to this channel. So many occasions I've wanted to call in, but then I didn't have the courage. So again, I praise you. I applaud you for what you do. Many times, some of the cases that come to this platform, I can relate to them, but not everybody has the courage to call in. So now I called in when a caller was talking about Chimamanda, and I thought to myself, I have to call in
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
Igbo people, they hang on to this so-called tradition.
Yeah.
Like you rightly said earlier on, it's man-made. Whoever
Mm-hmm.
made it, it's not written anywhere. But they hold on to it because it favors the men. So as a girl child, you are nothing. I know that, when they hear this, they probably will crucify me. Why would you say that? They are living in denial. I have seen it play out, and it continues to play out before me. Now, before I continue, if you go back to Chimamanda, even I think you asked the caller a question. If she didn't have the status she had, would they have allowed her sit in the meeting and all of that? My answer to that would be yes, in her own case, because not just because of her status, but because her parents, they have equipped her. They have given her that ground she is working on, because all of these things, I think it stems from families, because majority of Igbo families they will drown it from when you were born as a child, to let you know as a girl child, no, you can't do this, tradition permits. There are a lot of things they claim that their tradition permits. So Ngozi's, on her wedding, both her parents walked her down the aisle. It's unheard of in Igbo land. It's the man. It has to be the man. If he's not there, then your uncle. That has nothing to do with your upbringing or anything like that. But she allowed it. Her parents are well educated, just like many other people who will claim they are educated. So back to the issue, I feel so bad, and I feel bad for the family of this beautiful, beautiful, young woman who her life, her dreams, aspiration have been cut short. Don't even mention about the daughters who don't have mom. I'm a mom myself. I have two daughters and a son. And to me, can you still hear me? Hello? Can you still hear me, Auntie B? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, love. Carry on.
Okay. Okay. So I'm a mom myself. Now, this whole thing, because none of us, we didn't live with this couple to know where this whole thing started from and ended the way it ended. But I
Right.
can, I can relate to the whole lot of things that could result to this. Being married. Now, I've been married, well, I would say 20 years now,
Mm-hmm.
but my husband and I are separated for 3 years. Oh my
Right.
God. When eventually, so I am a product of, someone, obviously you were born into an Igbo family, you keep your marriage thing to yourself, you don't disclose, blah, blah, blah. So I took it, that's how it's supposed to be. So a
Right.
whole lot of things that weren't working, even the man you married,
Right.
he will claim I'm so traditional, doesn't listen to you, doesn't take any correction, nothing. And eventually when we separated, obviously he ran home with other stories and families,
Mm-hmm.
people that
Mm-hmm.
knew you, that had nothing to do with, no contribution to your life. Text messages, people text you randomly, like
Yes. Yes.
divorce, they start the text message, divorce
Yes.
is not an option. Like,
Yes.
who the hell are you to tell me how to live my life?
Yes.
So I activated my block button. Family, friends, people who has
I
nothing to do
love
with your
that.
life.
I
Yeah,
love
because
that.
because I hear you. Thanks to you, Auntie B, because until I started listening to you, I did
Mm,
nothing. I sat
mm,
down, I took everything. But I'm like,
mm,
no, it wasn't easy initially, but I'm like, no. And I told him, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm enough. I mean, it's as bad as it is. Okay. And just like I wasn't sure, is this really what I want? I'm still growing,
mhm.
listening to you because I'm never gonna stop listening to you because
Thank
and,
you.
you will suggest to this man, let's go for therapy. No, I'm not going to any therapy. I'm not going to talk to
It's
anybody
not.
about me.
It's not in our tradition.
It's not our
Therapy is not in our
tradition.
tradition.
Nothing is their tradition. They pick
Is
and
divorce?
choose.
Is divorce your tradition?
Oh, absolutely. So they pick and choose what is the tradition, what they want to
Mm,
enforce. Talking about marriage, I know a whole lot of Igbo people who will not, who said, oh no, traditional wedding has to be done in the village.
mhm.
But a whole lot of them are still doing it in America. Just rent hall, wear your tradition and do the, like, who says it can't be done
Change.
outside of your village?
I mean, why do you think that some part of the Igbo land, especially that's the people that are holding it, especially a lot of people have been saying Anambra, Anambra. Why is it that they are so afraid? Because I see a bit of fear in this, section when men, all these patriarchy and all these traditionalists, so-called traditionalists, why are they? I see fear in it. Why are they so afraid of changes? Because everything changes. Change is the only thing that is constant in life.
Well, so long as it suits them. And to be honest with you, this is just individual based. So long as
Yeah.
it suits them at the time they are saying it, they are fine. Now back to my own case. You
Hmm.
know, whatever it is the man think that I did wrong. Can we talk? Can we find a solution? No. You have to come back to my village. We have to go to my village. I have a tradition.
From the
I-
abroad.
From the abroad. Who are those people in your village? I don't even know. Like, who are they
So
in my
you
life?
carry your
Who are they?
matter to go and judge. Instead of going to counselor, you go to the village and judge
Yeah.
to your extended family village people about your marital problems.
Oh, absolutely. And these are
Mm.
people that have nothing to contribute to my life or my children or even the union itself. Oh, no. So he wouldn't have any type of conversation. Go to my village. He has an agenda because that's the way I see it. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. And honestly, that's it. It's over because it doesn't make sense because you are afraid people are going to talk about me, family. My mother is there praying. Oh my God, stop praying. I'll tell her. She's praying. Stop praying
Jesus,
because
stop praying.
yes, stop
Hmm.
it. It
Hmm.
doesn't make sense. Now, someone is dead. Yes, family can fight. If the family if they have money and they want to fight, well, she's not going to come back.
It's not bringing her back.
She's
Never.
gone.
Hmm.
So women should learn. I'm no longer afraid. Yes, I was afraid. I was afraid of what people who have no business in my life will say.
Hmm.
But I'm no longer afraid. I'm liberated and I choose to. I'm enough. And to be, thank you for what you do. I cannot thank you enough.
Hmm.
You don't know what you're doing, but continue doing what you're doing because people are hearing. People like me, we're hearing.
Hmm.
Um, to avoid this type of thing
Hmm.
happening and happening all over again. So
Yeah.
Igbo tradition, men wrote it, and they are, they carry it on, they pass it on because it suits them.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
thank you so much, Auntie B.
Thank you
Thank you.
for
God
sharing.
bless
Thanks for
you.
calling us, Jay. Please do call us again. I did enjoy talking to you. And you know what? The most
Mm.
important thing in life is not marriage is good, right?
Yeah.
But at what are you sacrificing for that marriage? Is your mental health going? Is your physical health going? Are
Mhm.
you are you operating? Are you living your life at optimum? Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? These are the things you need to consider because for me, as much as marriage is important, there are other things in life that are even much more important, especially when it comes to something that has to affect your life. It threatens your
Absolutely.
life, then
Absolutely.
it's no longer important.
Mhm.
Marriage is important, but life itself is much more important. Your well-being is more important. Your sanity is more
Mm.
important. Your growth and development, fulfilling your God-given purpose it's more important. Do you know what? They don't
Mm.
remember people because they were married. Nobody was
Yeah.
remembered in the Bible. Nobody, as far as I remember, history was remembered because they would say they were married. That's what they remember.
Mhm.
No. What you are remembered for is what was your life all about? How did you touch this world? What
Mhm.
impact did you make? How did you
Okay.
change this world in your own little way, even if it's your own community, no matter how small? What did you do to make this world a better place?
Mm.
That is what if women realize it, then they will be liberated. You will
Oh
not
yeah.
be, and sometimes divorce is not bad. It's
Oh,
actually good.
absolutely. Yeah.
Especially when two people want to buy each other, it is better for you to divorce or
Mhm.
at least be separated for a while and see if you can
Okay.
make things work. But you see, these Nigerian women, they will never. What will people say? Who will hear
Yeah.
it? Somebody in the comment section said just now that they told their family member that they were going to, they were going to separate from their husband, they didn't even find out. Oh, are you okay? What happened? In this part of the
Mm.
world, people will care about your well-being first. They'll
You're
be
welcome.
asking, "Are you okay? Are you all
Mhm.
right? Is everything?" They want to find out where you are. But the first thing the family member said is, God forbid. I
Oh,
reject
yes.
it for you. I refuse it for you. I like how you say you told your mom to stop
Stop
praying.
it.
Oh my
Mom,
God.
stop it. Yeah, I told
Yeah.
her. Stop it.
We have a
Stop
long way to
it.
go, but yeah, it's going to take a while, but attitudes are changing. It will change whether they like it or not. It
Mm-hmm.
must.
Yeah,
It will.
absolutely.
Thank you,
Yeah.
darling.
Thank you
Thanks for
so much,
calling.
Auntie B.
All right.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Wow. It's an abomination to them, peace, eh? There is no marriage in heaven, oh, Maria. There's no marriage. If we encourage people to live all these volatile marriages, especially when they are suffering from emotional, psychological, physical abuse, then we'll have people alive. I'm sure Chiamaka's family will prefer her to come home as a divorced woman than she's coming home now in a box. What about that? There is no parent that want to see their child in a box. But unfortunately, this is what is happening because you people keep telling people divorce is not an option. God hates divorce. Every woman makes her marriage work. How can you make it work with a Mongo Park who is beating you? How? He needs to go to anger management first. He needs to go and get tested to check what is wrong with him. Yeah. What is abomination is putting your hands on a weaker vessel, a weaker sex. Somebody that you were claiming to love, that you cherish. That is the abomination. But people don't see it that way. You see, it's like misery love company is what a lot of Nigerian women do. So how dare you want to leave this suffering when I'm suffering? All of us are suffering. You want to leave? No, we must suffer together. That's why some of them are so hateful towards women who have the courage to leave abusive marriage. I've not seen a woman that is happy in a marriage. You are happy. You are treated well. You are loved and appreciated. You just wake up one day and say, you know what? I don't want to marry anymore. Knowing what marriage means in our culture, come on now. Come on. Nobody speaks out honey. You don't put honey, even a child, a baby, you put honey in their mouth, they'll be sucking it because it's sweet. Talk of an adult. You'll be enjoying a home where there is peace. Then you will now say, no, I'm not marrying again. If somebody say they want to live a marriage, please don't be quick to judge them. Find out what they've been going through. Some people will never say anything. Like Chiamaka. Chiamaka, a lot of people didn't know. Even people that were friends with her didn't know what she was going through. Today, she's no more. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Think about it, oh. When he reach now, I go say, "I go do you go to teach women how to come out for marriage." See her now. I wish I feel rich Chiamaka when she did alive. I teach her to come out. This monster for no delete her now. Abi, I prefer that people remain alive and take care of themselves and their children than for them to be living in a box. So when I continue to the drag una papa and una mama, it not consign me. Stella, welcome, Jerry. Unmute
Sister,
yourself.
good evening. I've just been
Welcome.
holding myself. I've been holding myself. I said, no, let me just stop. But Auntie B, thank you very much. Thank you. I can just keep saying thank you and time will be going. The boldness, the fortitude, the strength with which you do the things you do naturally, no stress. I really want to appreciate you. That's number one. Number two, I've been trying to become a member. I've used my Monzo card. I've used my First Bank. I've used my Zenith card. All of them unsuccessful. I don't know what else to do to become a member. So maybe I'll take that one outside the call. I've also dropped my number to be added to the Lagos WhatsApp group, but I don't think it was actioned. So those are the admin stuff. Let me get it out of the way. But I've really been trying to join the membership, but I'll chat to you after this. When I was just waiting for this call, this program to start. When I saw the adverts, I am from Anambra State. I am married to somebody from Anambra State. So if you're talking about Igbo, I'm Igbo squared. But the last speaker just said half of what I wanted to say, that it really starts from you, who is an Igbo woman, to be able to stand and say to yourself, before your daughters, to your own self, that you will not be a statistics. What do I mean by statistics? First of all, it starts by being told that there is something called a flower age. So they tell you when you ought to get married. And once you get into that fix of when you ought to get married, ought to get married, once you sign that first contract, on your wedding day, they count 9 months for you. And when they count that 9 months for you, and you have a child, and that child is a girl, typically, it will be like, oh, at least she's able to conceive. So many times, there isn't really a lot of eyebrows raised. By the time the second one come, na big girl, nobody go tell you, make you go begin. Even from the church, they will be telling you that you need to go and do something so that you can have a boy.
Are they telling the man? Or do they tell the husband?
They can never tell the man. So that's why I'm saying that, first of all, the first call is for you as a lady to bring it up. Even, you see all this, I fell in love and I was not seeing clearly. You put on your contact lenses and ask these questions. You must be able to situate where your intended partner is. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't have a choice because that's what they've been bequeathed. We've been told that if you don't have a son as an Igbo man, your lineage has closed. You as a lady, once you buy into that, the responsibility of having a son is now thrust on you. Meanwhile, the people who are trusting it on you, and you, in most cases, you know that it's not your own chromosome that produces a boy.
But everybody just chooses to ignore that, right? Everybody chooses to.
No, they ignore it because they have already succumbed to the first contract, which is at this age, you ought to be married. So once you fall into, and then you go to church for a whole year, 2 years, 3 years, they tell you by the end of this year, you'll be settled. And to be, mind my words very carefully. So for years, a young lady hears that she cannot be settled except she's married. Her psyche, her schema is already being changed. So no matter what happens in this life, she can never discover her purpose. Even if she gets a 100% tuition scholarship to Harvard, no matter what else she achieves in this life, she
Because
has been told
achievement
that she
is
will not
tied
be
to
settled.
marriage. Yeah.
Exactly.
Marriage is
As
the first
long as
achievement that matters.
Exactly. As
Yeah.
long as you sign into that contract, when you begin to have problems, you run to your mother. The first thing your mother will tell you, I will speak in Igbo, then I will translate. Onetigife, does he beat you? You say no. Does he give you money for food? Do you have a roof over your head? What are you what that thing you are complaining about? You have seen it. As long as he's providing for you, there's a roof over your head and he's not beating you. That's what a typical mother will tell the child. But look at me. Now, I don't want to pontificate. I want to tell you my own story and I end. I've been married for 25 years. I have 2 girls and a boy. 7 years ago, my only son went in to take out his appendix and came out with a brain injury.
Jesus.
I think
Appendicitis.
I don't even want to enter that story. And to be, because if I enter that story, we will derail. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's coming.
I'm
So
sorry to
don't
hear
worry.
that.
It's okay. It's fine. So my point is this. If na boy, I think I don't born the boy. So let's even assume that you have done, and then they will tell you that even one is not enough. You need to have a spare. So, and to be, don't laugh. Don't laugh. This is a serious matter. So we have now gotten to a point whereby we are now God's first cousin, that we also tell him that, this is how it works. And some people go as far as sex selection. Even those who claim that they don't believe in abortion, they go as far as IVF sex selection to ensure that they have a boy. All this, you cannot blame them, because all the while, both the man and the young lady have been growing up. They have been told that this is how it ought to be. Now, what have I done now as a person? I've called my 2 daughters and I've told them, don't ever allow yourself to be used as a statistics. Every good and perfect gift comes from God.
Amen.
Bless my mother. Before she died, more than 20 years ago, she told me, when you finish having children, if you don't have a girl, either go and adopt one or find a girl that you can invest in her life, that there is nothing as beautiful as a daughter. Do you understand what I mean? So right from, and I'm the first child of 6 children. And my father, I have 3 brothers. My father didn't bring me up as a girl. He brought me up as a human being. And my parents died 5 years in between. My father was so in love with his wife that he couldn't stay, on a lighter side. But my point is that,
no wonder you're so rounded. Because the parents that raised you,
exactly.
They are not for tradition.
Exactly. And yet my father was Igwe in council and whatever and all that. My mother was all
And
those
from
August
Anambra State.
And from Anambra State.
You see what I'm saying? That it's not everybody.
The scripture, they were not even charismatics, they were Anglicans. The scripture was their main line of training. So they brought us up as human beings. Therefore, when I was pregnant with my son, I would be walking on the road, they would tell me, madam, make sure this one, when you don't give us a big yellow, make sure now culture you go bring this time. I had only one answer, Auntie B, only one answer. Every good and perfect gift comes from God. And I refused to check the sex of that child. And in fact, to worsen it, I told God that this child will be a minister of the gospel no matter what he reads. So when that accident happened, I said, concern me, God, I don't already give you the child. You are the one that will heal him. So my point is, parents, any woman that is listening to me, whether you are single, whether you're married, there is much more to life. Somebody will say, because you have been married for 25 years, allow me to taste my own. Is being married and miserable. My father told me that a marriage that is being managed is worse than cancer.
And you see
I'm
the funny
telling
thing,
you
those
this.
of us that have boys, we even want to have more daughters. Honestly. We even want to have
But
more
you
daughters.
see,
I
Auntie
wanted to
B,
have more children because I wanted daughters more. I'm
Auntie
telling
B,
you.
if you
You see
were
how
from my
funny this
state,
life. Life
if
is so
you're from my
ironic.
state,
Yeah.
when you are walking with those your two boys, when you are walking, your legs no go they reach ground. Let me they tell
Three.
you.
Three boys,
I
oh.
say, you see, in fact, they for don't give you chieftaincy title. I
They
know
for
my
keep going
friends
for
that
me.
I tell you, I know my friends that have girls. I've lost two friends. I have lost two friends because they were trying for the fifth or sixth time to have a boy,
Can you imagine? I
and
mean,
they
the
have
other
died
day,
physically.
let me make you laugh, Stella. The other
Ah,
day, not too long ago, I called one of my friends and said, is it too late for me to have a baby? And they were like, what's wrong with you? What are you thinking about? I said, I think I want to have a daughter. Let me try. Is it too late? And they were laughing at me and saying, because I said, my youngest son is going to go live a home soon. I want to try and
you
see if I
can
can
go
have a
and
daughter
adopt
that will.
one. The
They
process
said
of being
that
pregnant at this
one
age
of
is not funny.
another of my friend who is my age mate too said she wants to have a daughter too. I say, okay, let's have retirement babies. Maybe we can have daughters. Honestly, we are laughing.
So I think the onus lies on
Mhm.
on women and mothers to begin to tell. If there was something I posted, I'm an upcoming, so I posted something and I said, if you're 30 and single and you have been told that if you're not in a relationship, you will not fulfill purpose, ask Sinach and Chimamanda. Just find your purpose, focus on achieving it, and everything good will come. If you believe that marriage is that good thing, it will come. But for you to live your God given potential, and every single thing you are thinking about now is that I want to marry, I want to marry, I want to marry, it will be far away from you. That's how life is. Anything you start becoming desperate about finds a way it will find a way to run away from you. So I just want
I
to
hope
thank you. These are very difficult topics, but it has
you.
to be discussed. It
Why is
has
it
to be
that
discussed.
I mean, why is it that Igbo women are not talking more? I see a lot of Igbo bloggers and content creators. Why don't they talk
But
more about this
I've
though? Are they
already told
afraid?
you why. I've already
Mm,
told you why. First of all, it's conditioning. That's what's called in psychology. Because you have already
mm,
been told that that is how it ought to be. You ought to marry at before you even turn 25. And then you ought to have a son. Ought to. So when you hear that for 10 years, it's in your mind. Then you go to church. You're also told that you will get married this year, and 5 years have passed, and every night vigil, every 31st December, you're told that you will get married this year, and this is the 6th year, it's not happening. Can't you tell yourself, let me look for something else and do with my life? And when the person comes, the person will come. And what if the
mm,
person never comes? That means
mm,
for the rest of your life, you will not fulfill purpose because somebody didn't come for you. So
mhm,
we need to, when we expose ourselves to this kind of forum and we begin to take back our self-esteem, which has
mm.
hitherto been hinged on marriage, having a son, not having a son, and all those ephemeral things, including those of us that are the prayer warriors of Nigeria.
I want
This thing,
somebody to. I'm going to ask Daddy why this goat that they say they keep for people. So I didn't get any goats. Can you please tell us? Somebody told me
you're
now
not
that
from
somebody have
Owerri.
sons
You're not from
and they
Owerri.
keep
You
goats.
have
Me,
to
I
go.
didn't receive any goats. I want goats. I want goats. Now, if daddy, now I know something I'm going to ask for is goats. I want goats. We must
Thank
collect. I
you.
must collect goats. Thank you, Stella. You really understand the psychology of it. God bless you. Thanks for making us laugh. I hope your son feels better. God bless you. Thank you, my darling. May God bless your family. Yeah, that is the irony of life. Ah, they say I don't know if Grandma Auchi is here. There's a saying in Esako that "Ene kele emie, ene mole elerekia." That's I don't know if Grandma Auchi is here. She'll interpret it for you people. This life, no balance. Life, no balance. I say I want to have a retirement baby, and it's girl, specifically girl or daughter, not son. I have too many men in this house. La la la. I don't want. Yeah, but you see, one man's meat. Oh my shit. Children are children. Sometimes, we just need to thank God for His gift. If people understand that it is not within our power, even that's when I pray. I always remind God we are caretakers of these children. It's God. The children belong to God. We are mere caretakers. If you have been blessed to even have one, or you are trusting God for one, for which I know God will always do it for you, just give glory to God, whether it's male or female. Brothers, please, our Igbo brothers, we are begging you. Our parents didn't know any better. Your grandparents didn't know any better. You know better. Stop this nonsense. Please, stop it. Stop it. Children are a blessing from God. And you don't know whether it's male or female. It does not matter in this day and age. It doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's the stupidity of the highest order for people who are educated in this day and age, like this Mongo Pakundubusi now, that you are beating your wife because she does not have a male child. I don't understand. We need to discourage it. It's not right. Now you've deleted her. I hope you're happy now. I hope you are happy. Hmm? Thank you, ZS, for the super chat. Thank you. No, 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 seriously. What I was saying about the female having a retirement baby was not a joke. Oh. I was considering it seriously. Oh. I was thinking about it. I say, you know what? It's not too late yet. Maybe just one. And when I now saw another of my, sometimes when you're having plans and you have a friend that affirms it, you say, okay, we can do this together. We can do the better. And then I start thinking about it. All this life, all this soft life, now everything will disappear. I'll start pushing buggy again. I start doing nursery run and primary school run again. Me, I can just carry my bag now. I will tell them, bye bye. You guys, you're on your own. I won't be able to have that independence. I say, no. Mm-mm. Within myself, I started thinking it. I say, you know what, maybe adoption. I was telling that I say, maybe the adoption, maybe I want to adopt from Nigeria. I've always wanted to adopt anyway. So I was thinking, let me advise myself, maybe adoption will be better. You know? Mm. Yeah, that's just by the wayside. But you know what? Whatever God has blessed you with, thank God. Thank God for it. Thank God. Mm. Brother Patrick, yes, so retirement baby girl. I want a retirement baby girl. All these boys will still leave home. So what am I going to be left with if they leave? That's what I've been thinking now. In 2 years, my last baby
Hello, Auntie
gone.
B. Oh,
Hi, Valerie, welcome.
hi, Auntie B. I wanted to speak about this topic because I'm, as an Igbo girl, this conversation is like a running topic. Like
Right.
in my family, we're like one boy. And I remember before my mom even had my brother, it was like a running conversation with my dad's family side, like, oh, this one that has girls, girls, girls everywhere. And my dad would be like, if these girls, because my dad grew up in an all boy
Your network is not good,
girl.
Valerie. It's cutting off. You are cutting
Okay.
off. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Hmm.
Now, say my father.
You keep cutting off. Oh, that's too bad. Can you fix your audio? I'll come
Yeah,
back
can
to
you?
you.
Oh, yeah, come back to me.
Okay, fix it so that I'll come back to you because it's not allowing you to flow. It's breaking up. So let me come to accountability prefect. Hello, honey babe. How you love?
Auntie V, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Cynthia, leave me alone. Why are you saying that? Since you heard that I said I want to have a baby now, you're telling me you're going to remove me from all the soft life. Cynthia, you can't remove me. Soft life for life. Welcome, my darling. How are you?
I'm
Guys,
fine,
please give
Auntie
us a
V.
thumbs up. Guys, you're not liking, no. Yes. What do you have to say, love?
Auntie B, I have kind of two different approaches. I mean, it's really, really sad that this happened because I have two boys and I love them, but I would love a girl. So I find it quite astonishing that, this whole boy thing. And to be honest, I never actually, for both pregnancies, I never checked for the sex of them. It was a surprise for me.
Right.
And that's what I wanted. What I would want to say is that we have to have accountability as women because we are the primary caregivers.
Right.
So the majority of the time, we are the ones that are instilling the responsibilities, instilling the obviously educating these children. So we need to educate them, the boys. They need to understand that yes, you are boys, but you're not second class to females. So I think us as
So,
mothers, we have a responsibility.
It's the other way around. Yes, you are girls, but you're not second class to boys. Is that what you
Yeah, that's
mean?
what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not
Okay.
second. Sorry, I got it the wrong way around. You're not second. You understand what I'm saying? I think we
Yeah.
need to come to that approach because,
Yeah.
as I said to you before, we spend the majority of the time child rearing. We are the ones that are with these children. So we, the excuse that of culture, it doesn't make sense to me because every culture evolves. Look at 30 years ago, we did not have mobile phones. You've used that as an analogy before. Now we have different phones.
Mm-hmm.
You have the flip phone, you have the fold. So we have to evolve with time. And I think us as mothers, we have to shoulder the responsibility and talk to
Mm-hmm.
our children, boys and girls. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm the first child, so I was the girl. And funnily enough, my dad told me I can do anything I can do. I understand I was brought up in the UK, so maybe that was the reason why. But there was never a negative thing that my dad ever said in regards to my gender. It was always the case, you just aim for the sky, do whatever you want. He was very, very encouraging as a dad. You understand? I was the eldest, and then my brother was the middle, and then we obviously my sister. So it was the three of us, two girls and a boy. And my dad did not treat us any different. We all had to do chores. We all had to do. My brother did not sit in the living room with his legs up. He was the one that would learn how to cook and hoover and do things like the rest of us. So I'm just trying to say that for me personally, we really need to take accountability and to educate our children, especially the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Once we do that, things will change.
Mm-hmm.
It has to change. And in terms of this whole pressure of having boys, I don't understand it personally. Like I said, every child is a blessing. And I will support you in what you said. I had a friend that she was trying for a child for almost 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
15 long, good years. And I
Mm-hmm.
know the emotional trauma she went through, the
Yeah.
depression, and she finally got a child 2 years ago. So it's not about not showing empathy, but it's understanding that every child is a blessing. So for
Mm-hmm.
that person to say to obviously send that message that she prayed, it's very distasteful to me because yes, we should have sympathy, but that's like someone pressuring someone to pass someone. Am I going to be sympathetic to that person? They're a murderer. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So I know that sounds callous, but that's just my thinking. You don't allow anybody. You should be able to have the self-respect to know that yes, you're married. If your husband says something to you, asks you to do something, ask yourself, is this the right thing to do? You should have a moral compass. And you should, as much as you want to stay in your marriage, and marriage is sweet, don't get me wrong, with the right person. If you're in a relationship with someone and it's toxic, personally for me, I think you shouldn't be on there, shouldn't be in that relationship because it will not get any better. The person will not change, whether it's a man and a woman. There can be female Mongol parts as well as male Mongol parts. I do understand that. I'm not going to be gender specific, but if you're in a toxic relationship, especially DV, there's no point staying in there because you will get worse.
Run. Just
Run
run.
for your life.
That's what
Even
we
if it's
say.
a case where you
Run.
don't have to divorce him, you can leave for a place of safety.
Yes.
And
Just
if the
run.
person,
Save
exactly,
yourself.
all
Save
this, I'm
yourself.
saying, I'm praying, I'm fasting. It doesn't work. With every single day, there's a new story regarding this. But as
So there's
women,
somebody listening to this now. There's
yes,
somebody listening to this now, and you are going through DV. You are
yes,
praying. You are looking for solution. You are thinking, what am I
yes.
gonna do? Oh, my children, I don't want to be a single parent. I don't need to do this. Look, you will be Chiamaka tomorrow. Kò ń ṣèpè.
Hmm. I think the
It's
best
not
thing
a
to, yeah,
curse.
the best
You
thing
will
to
be,
do,
and we'll be
yeah,
here. We'll
yeah,
be here talking
run,
about you if
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
save yourself.
Now you need to leave. It doesn't have to be permanent, but get out in terms of your safety. If you have kids, take your kids if it's possible, but you need to get out so that you can see another day. Then you can figure out what you want to do. But it's very, very important to run to a place of safety. That's what I wanted to say, Auntie B.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, Auntie
honey
B. Take
babe.
care.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you, love. Thank you. Okay. Right. So I'm running up the show now. We've taken we had a very, very robust conversation tonight. Thanks to everybody that has called into the show. This is obviously a very, very deeply rooted matter that we can't even address with one show. It's something that is cultural, and it's a culture that has refused to evolve. It's a culture that For some reason, some brothers are holding on to with their two hands, like they're holding on to it that we will never let this go. But you ought to know that life is changing. Okay? Life is changing. Things are changing. You've got to adapt. If you don't adapt, you become obsolete. That's the truth about life. You become obsolete. You go this think like pond when you know they flow. That is just the life. Life has is changed. And so traditions needs to evolve as well. I'm not saying get rid of all the tradition, but how about we just tweak them a little bit to be more humane, to be more favorable to to the weaker versus the weaker sex in this world, women and children. How about we just look at this that I'm a father, and that's why people like Brother Bio is not here today. When they call into the show, they are usually very very passionate, and somebody was saying something that we always sided the women. No, because it's a father. When you have a child, if you have a daughter, then you will know what it means for a woman to be with a man and the man is abusive towards her. There's no good father that can take it. It's not, it won't happen. You won't. You won't allow it. Valerie, is your internet good now?
Yes, thank you, TV. So sorry, I don't know what happened to my call.
All
Oh,
right.
sorry. I was going to say my dad was raised with a lot of brothers. His one sister passed when they were younger, so it's all brothers. And like to be honest, they haven't achieved the heights of, I guess, success that they should. So my thing, those were the main ones always making comments like, "Azu, you're always having all these daughters, these daughters everywhere, daughters." And my dad is like, if these girls succeed tomorrow, like, wouldn't everyone benefit from it? Do you get a point? So like I think for me is there's also the inferiority complex. I feel like nobody really talks about because I understand tradition, and I feel like for me tradition can at times be like pressure from the dead people. That's what I believe sometimes it can be, but I feel like it's an inferiority complex. People always want to feel like they have something above someone else. Okay, you have 5 children. Out of your 5 children, I have more boys than you. I feel more important. When it's just like you have 5 healthy children, that's the only thing you should be focused on. And for
Yeah.
me, even now, I already put my cap on how many kids. I'm a husband, we got married 2 years ago. We already put our limit on how many kids we want. My husband said, Biko, even if you don't have a boy, don't keep saying you want to keep trying. Like we'll end it there. So like for him, it doesn't matter. But that's because of education and him being confident within himself. But this situation is very sad because it's very, very, very normalized, especially in our land and within our people. And if people don't even talk about the part when a woman is buried in certain Imo state villages, the amount of work that goes to even like you basically have to pay the bride price again when you're burying a woman. People
That's
like so
if
as
you didn't pay before, right?
no, you paid before, but you're basically paying the bride price again. Because I know when we buried my grandma, we basically had to pay back
I've not
the
heard
bride.
that before.
It was I was like, I said, so you guys make it seem like women are not this important, but she has to do all of this work just so we can
I've not
bury
heard that
her.
before. I thought it's only when they didn't pay the bride price before that they pay when the
No,
person
in
now
my
deletes.
village, in my
They pay
village,
it
when
twice. When
they
when they are marrying the person, they pay. When the person deletes, they pay again.
yes, it's like the amount of stuff that her people were asking for. I say, wow. So you guys
Wow.
make it seem like women are not that important, but when it comes down to anything that gains in terms of bride price, whatever, you guys now somehow the woman is all of a sudden becomes important. But for me, at TV, this my take. I always say with my friends, they're a little bit older than me, but we're around the same age. Although I'm married, I tell them like, take your time. Like, don't let people pressure you into anything. Like, marriage is something you go with 2 eyes, 2 legs, and 2 hands. Like, you have to be there physically just to see everything. Because to be honest, some people might make all these great promises in the beginning of the marriage. I mean, beginning of the dating process. But when you get to marriage, the person completely switches. And I always tell people like be prayerful before you go into marriage. Make sure this is the right person. I know we're not God, we can't see the end, but I would say sometimes when you're really desperate for something, it's when you allow the devil to give you whatever he wants to give you. So this is a really sad situation, but that's just my take on TB.
Thank you so much, Valerie. I appreciate you. And I pray that, God, whatever it is that it takes to be successful for you to do what you need to do for your parents, He will give it to you. It's not only male children that look after their parents, female children look after their parents. Female children are more caring. Female children are the ones that know when their parents are old. So male children do it, but it's more female that do it because women are naturally nurturers. We care. We care about our parents, we care about everybody around us. We nurture. That is what the gender is about. So how can you have something against a person that nurtures everybody around them? If a woman is at home, everybody is fed. They will cook. Everybody is fed. The house is tidy. Whenever you go out, even as a mom, as a parent, when you go out, when you come back, the minute I'm coming back, I'm screaming because the house is not the way I left it. There were people in the house. That is what women generally do. We bring a lot of value. I don't know why this thing is being perpetuated, or I mean till today, but I want to believe that people are listening, but I won't be ring. If somebody is putting their hands on you, whether because of male child or female child or whatever, for whatever reason, if you don't save your life, you are going to be a statistics and we will talk about you. We will do show about you. We'll be talking like this, okay? We've been saying, save yourself. We're not even saying divorce. But go to a place of safety first to keep yourself alive. Ẹni tó bá ń sọ fún ọbàjọ́ gbọ́ o. Bumi, welcome. I'm rounding up now. You're my last but not the least caller without 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Hi, Auntie B. How you doing?
I'm good, darling.
Okay. I saw your birthday celebration. I was dancing as I was watching it. Hi, Obodo fam. How are you guys? Please, you guys should share. Let's reach the heights and the bound of this world. This information is extremely important. I first want to say condolences to the girl's family. I know that everybody should get the same level of sympathy, but she looks very full of life. She looks very young. Like I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, and I can't fathom it. I can't imagine. She looks very young. Like there's still a lot of room. There's still things that she could accomplish. You see, I just want to say something to women, young girls, women, anybody that is a female. Is where we set our bar. And I know me too, it took me a while too, because I've been through a lot of bad relationship. But I realized that if we don't quiet the noise around us, because at the end of the day, it's you and whoever you choose. So it's the level, it's the standard we set for ourselves that will continue. For example, if let's say you marry somebody and you are dragging 50-50, or you are dragging, oh, I can provide, the man will let you do it because that's what you show to the man. But if you are the type that say, I cannot do anything, the man will, if the man can take it, the man cannot take it, he will go. People pick and choose what you show them, what you allow. They will use you according to how you allow yourself to be used, is what I'm saying. So if we set our standard low, it will be on the floor, it will be in the gutter. If it's high up to the sky, it will reach there. So I just want to say we have to look at it that way. Anything we do, not just marriage, with our relationship, with our friendship, without anything we set our mind to do, even with work, anything. So if that is not the case, it can lead to this type of tragedy that's happened, unfortunately. And another thing is, I want to say that our womb is a gift. It's a huge gift. So we don't just say you open your leg or you say you want to give birth. If you are choosing to give birth, to carry somebody else's, like to give birth for your husband or your boyfriend, you know that you are gifting the person. Because first of all, most of us women, the child will bear the man's name, whether it's a boy or a girl. Secondly, you put yourself through so much. We know what people go through in labor, with childbirth. People go there. People lose their mind. It's a lot. There's postpartum depression.
There's a lot of noise in your background. It's distracting us, Bumi. It's like
I'm
children
sorry.
are in the background playing. Yeah. So just summarize in 1 minute because they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say, sorry about that. So I was just going to say, if we think about it like that a lot of things will be avoided. A lot of things will be cut. We'll be able, and we have to be logical too. We have to think of it that I know it's not just a transaction, but it's a transaction, it's a partnership. So if we think about it, that you put yourself through so much, you'll be able to come out at least with most of the benefits in the relationship. Your husband will respect you more, and you'll table your relationship, your feelings to him. I just want to say that at the end of the day, we need to take care of ourselves. Nobody will take care of us. And to be, that's all.
Thank you very much, Bumi. I appreciate you for that. Yeah. So I mean, people have called in, we've had a conversation. The bottom line is Chiamaka is no more. Whatever you are saying now, whatever theories, somebody said that the issue of the BBL is something that the husband, Undubusi, is bringing out to distract from the story about how he has sent her to an early grave. Well, we are just online spectators. We don't know them, but again, there are people who've called into the show that know them, right? Somebody who knows Chiamaka has called into the show. So what I'm just going to say in rounding up is that if you are this woman that you are in a marriage whereby you are going through DV, but you are keeping up appearances every day, you are posting. You are posting every day as if you are the happiest woman. Look at what this person said. Let me read this quickly. Let me read this to you guys. Yeah. Ogochukwu said, if it's once they put their hands on you, he will do it again. They know they change. Mongo Park know they change. Leave Mongo Park marriages alone. Save yourself. Stay alive for your children. Stay alive for your children. Stay alive for your children. Stay alive for yourself. Stay alive for your family. So, whatever your feelings are, whether you are a traditionalist, you are the one that hold on to the tradition of your ancestors, you are the gatekeeper of tradition that you can never shift. Everything has to be the way it was done, the way they were doing it, and it's now and forevermore. That's your cup of tea. Kokanye. But what is important is that it is you that is suffering in that marriage that you need to know how you need to save yourself. Is it going to be easy? Nah, 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 nah. It's not going to be easy. People will talk. People will say what they have to say. They will shade you. Women, yes. If you said that, you're saying something very, very vital. Be more supportive. Unfortunately, the women that we need to talk to, they don't even have access to all this kind of platform that we are in. You see all these women in the villages in Nigeria, they are the ones. I'm still in my husband's, I'm still a Mrs. Let's just show kindness and love to one another. We are already in the bottom barrel when it comes to the hierarchy in society, in Nigerian society, as women. Common sense would even show that as women, especially if you're a Nigerian woman, you're an African woman who already lives in a society where you are not valued because of how God has created you. Shouldn't we value one another? Shouldn't we love one another and show kindness to one another? It's a question, no, please. So the next time you want to criticize somebody, you want to come for somebody and bash them and say things, nasty things, woman to woman, think about it. All you traditionalists, you claim to be traditionalists, but real traditional men, they protect their families, they don't put their hands on. The traditional men of those days used to go to war just to protect their families, their children, and their wives. But all these fake traditionalists, now them, Mongo Park, disguising as traditionalists. You see, Andubusi, don't see in children beautiful girls. What are you going to tell them? The same thing the other one did the other day. IDD, IDT, whatever he calls himself. Every day we'll keep hearing stories like this. Value yourself, value yourself. Just value yourself. Save yourself, because at the end of the day, one day you go say, I go change, you go change. Now lie, One day Maybe not just small gbasgbos self go give you. That's it. You don't pass out. Because the body is not meant for all that every day. Make the person they put their hands on you. Especially this one, you get biceps, so you get the gym. So look at this delicate woman, very delicate young girl. Even if it's male child you want that you feel like you must have a male, you are still young. Both of them are young. They can try again. You can keep trying. You can have maybe you have girl, but most importantly, brothers, please know a woman has nothing to do with the gender of a child. Stop this foolishness, please. Some of you think this way. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run, I'm begging you. Stop it. It is you that determines the gender of a child, not the woman. Whatever you give to the woman is what she will give you. So Google is your friend. Google it. Who determines the gender of a child? What are the chromosomes? What do I carry as a man? What does a woman carry? And this ignorance of saying, and you start holding women responsible for having male children or not having male children will stop. It's a long conversation. We'll keep having this conversation. It's not ending soon. But all I know is that you need to save yourself. Yeah, save yourself, because if you don't, okay, nobody else. Oh, only one life, my people. This life, now only one. Kò pé méjì. Now, let somebody delete you. You will put your children for everlasting bondage, everlasting sorrow. And they will carry that trauma for the rest of their lives. And also know that if children are growing up in an environment like that, they are likely to attract men like that as well. Because they watch their papa every day, they beat their mama. So to them, it's normal. So make una know what they normalize. Oh, it is well with you people. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the show today. I'm back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. And we have a show about this imported wife situation, the Ghanaian one that happened in Ohio. That's the one we are discussing tomorrow. So, yeah, it's a different conversation about imported wife, but still very, very important because it's about somebody, deleting themselves, deleting another human being, all because of marriage gone wrong. So we're going to be discussing this tomorrow. So join me. Thank you very much, everybody. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I shall see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. God bless you. Thank you very much. I love you guys. Bye.